Okay, let's talk about something you do, I don't know, thousands of times a day without even thinking about it. Breathing. But what if I told you that you're probably doing it wrong and that this one little mistake could be silently, seriously damaging your health? Get this. An incredible 90% of us are breathing incorrectly. Yeah, you heard that right. 9 out of every 10 people. And look, this isn't some minor little thing. We're talking about a super common mistake with some pretty serious consequences for your energy, your stress levels, and believe it or not, even how long you might live. So I gotta ask, are you breathing the wrong way? Because, this goes so far beyond just feeling a little tired in the afternoon. This simple, unconscious habit, it could literally be shaving years off your life. All right, to really get a handle on what wrong even looks like, let's meet someone. He's a character who, honestly, perfectly embodies this whole problem. Let's call him the stressed businessman.
So this guy's name is Seth Karodimal. Just picture him for a second. He's always stressed, constantly under pressure, and his shoulders are pretty much permanently hunched up by his ears. But here's the thing. That posture, it's not just a sign of stress. It's a direct result of how he's breathing. And honestly, his story, it's like a mirror for a lot of us.
See, Seth is taking these teeny tiny shallow breaths. They only use the very top part of his lungs. And the result? Well, his body is basically in a constant state of oxygen deficiency. That's what's causing that brain fog, That afternoon slump we all hate, the constant fatigue. It can even drive up your blood pressure. He feels so drained all the time because he's literally starving his body of the most essential fuel it needs, oxygen. But okay, that's the problem. Of course, there's a better way. So let's shift gears and look at the solution. It's called the master system, or what you might know as diaphragmatic breathing. All right, now let's meet our second character, Master Dinanath. And his whole approach is the complete total opposite of Seth's. He teaches a method that starts with a really deep breath in through the nose. But here is the absolute key. His belly expands, not his chest. And that tiny little shift, it changes everything. So how does this work? Well, this method actually engages your diaphragm. That's a big, powerful muscle right at the base of your lungs. When you use it, you're not just using the top part of your lungs anymore. You're accessing the full capacity. You're maximizing your oxygen intake. And the effect? It's not just physical. It is like hitting a giant reset button for your brain. It has this immediate, incredibly powerful calming effect on your entire nervous system. Okay, so we've got two totally different ways to breathe, leading to two completely different outcomes. But why? Why does it make such a difference? Let's dive into the science of what's actually happening inside your body with every single breath you take. So this all comes down to a field of study called respiratory mechanics. Now, that sounds complicated, but it's really just the science of how your breathing patterns are directly, and I mean directly, linked to your body's hormones and your nervous system. In other words, how you breathe is sending a constant signal to your brain, telling it whether to freak out and be on high alert or to just chill out and relax. And this is where it gets really fascinating. So Seth's way, that shallow breathing, it puts his body into fight or flight mode. It just floods his system with the stress hormone cortisol. That's the stuff that makes your heart pound and your muscles get all tense, right? But then you have Dinanath's deep breathing. It does the complete opposite. It activates something called the vagus nerve, which is basically the body's main calming nerve. And that triggers the rest and digest response. This is when your body can finally relax, recover, and even start to repair itself on a cellular level. Let's just break this down super simple, like a cause and effect chain. A shallow breath, that signals danger. That kicks you into fight or flight, and your cortisol spikes. A deep belly breath, that signals safety. It activates that vagus nerve, and your body gets the green light to enter its natural state of rest and repair. See? Two different breaths, two totally different commands being sent through your body. So, after all that science, after meeting Seth and the master, what's the big takeaway here? What's the bottom line? Well, we finally arrived at what could be the secret to longevity, and it all boils down to one single, super powerful rule that you can literally start using right now. Here it is, the big secret to a longer, healthier life. It might just be hidden in the depths of your lungs. The rule to remember is so simple. Take fewer breaths per minute, but make each one deeper. That's it. It's all about quality over quantity. And that just leaves us with one final thought, right? I mean, we spend so much time and so much energy looking for these complicated solutions for our health, for our longevity. But what if one of the most powerful secrets has been right under our noses this whole time, hiding in the simple, profound acts of just taking a deep breath? Could the secret to a long and healthy life really be that simple?